In every house, there are energy programs, some more negative than others. You have to think of the programs as if they were so many road signs that would like to direct you and then get you on a precise path dictated by them. Although you could very well cut it short and switch from another road chosen by you. The programs want to push you to take a direction, but you can choose each time to take a different path, becoming aware of the error towards which they want you to go. Since programs are created by our thoughts and feelings when they are too strong and express an intent, or by thoughts and feelings of the people around us, there are infinite programs and not only positive or negative ones. In fact, when we talk about programs, we only think about the one that will push you to be sad, or the one that will push you to be happy, and so negative or positive. But in which of the two sides would you like to place the apathy program? Certainly it is not positive, but it can't even be compared to the program that pushes you to cry or get angry at someone. So you might think that it should be placed in the middle, then in the neutral. But in reality, the apathy program is anything but neutral, because it wants to push you to take a path imposed by it. For simplicity, we will often talk about positive or negative programs, but you must be aware that there are infinite programs and not just sad or happy ones. A house has so many energy programs. These are found almost everywhere and continue to influence your thoughts and decisions every day. And to think that every program was born because of you or because of the people who live with you. A program was born from an event that happened, for example, from a day when you came home particularly listless and imprinted, unconsciously, a very strong intent in your room or in the place where you were. However, others can also imprint programs in your home even at distance. Therefore, someone who is a person who has never entered your house or even an entity that has passed by has imprinted an apathic program that leads you to fail to do anything when you are at home, making you waste time not to do anything sensible. So a program is activated when you are in that place. In fact, you could, for example, notice a program because when you are in a particular room, you will begin to feel yourself in a specific way, for example, apathic. And then, when you go out, it will come back to you the desire and you will feel better. This can happen with so many other programs. For example, the one that will make you feel very sad or depressed as soon as you enter from the front door, or very nervous, oppressed, with nerves on edge. You will probably blame your surroundings, saying that the house is too narrow, that is small, and makes you feel oppressed, or that it bothers you to see the same people every day. But what triggers your nervousness are the energy programs that surround you or the negative energies impressed in people's auras, causing you so much discomfort. Always negative energies we're talking about. The energy programs push you to behave in a certain way, then to often fall back on the same program, so that you feed it and make it stronger. An example of a definitely typical program for everyone is that of anti-meditation. You were doing something else and feeling inspired, so choose to go and meditate because you feel it's a great choice practicing it now. You go to your bedroom, or to your meditation place, and as soon as you go through the bedroom door, something activates. A program that makes you completely forget that you went there on purpose to meditate. So, you turn on the computer, chat a little, or do anything else. You seemed very determined, yet you were so easily distracted. How will you define this program? It didn't make you sad, it didn't make you suffer, but it made you forget a very important decision you had made for yourself and for your personal evolution. So it certainly isn't a positive program or even a neutral one. Any energy program that is not entirely positive must be eliminated, because even if in a light way it contributes to your energy submission. Therefore, even though it may seem as harmless or slightly intrusive as that of apathy, remember that in the long run it will ruin your spiritual evolution, and not just that, but even many other aspects of your life. So, it is better to knock it down immediately. deciding to clean up all the objects in the house one by one is a very unlikely action, but you can practice the technique to clean up the environment so that even the objects and your surroundings will absorb the positive energy and will be reprogrammed. Then, you can dedicate yourself to precise objects that you think are most important, without having to touch them all one by one. First, you have to learn to clean your internal energy, because you need to become familiar with prana and learn to focus on the intent of cleaning energy. After that, you learn to clean the energy of the environment. The technique is not based solely on attracting prana at home, but you must learn to direct it to get you the results for which you chose to practice. When you practice internal cleansing, you are recalling prana within you with the intent to purify your every energy layer and get rid of the negative energies gathered with time. Every day we collect many of them, and we cannot prevent it, just like every day we get dirty and we need to take a shower. You can even choose to stay locked up at home to avoid coming into contact with outdoor environments in the hope of not getting dirty, but your body will get dirty and you will have to take a shower anyway. So, lock yourself up at home is not a solution to avoid getting your own energy dirty, since even your thoughts will risk getting it dirty, and sometimes even worse than others could do. Therefore, it is important that you practice internal energy cleansing very often. This will help you largely to clean up even the external one, that is the energy of the environment you frequent, especially of the place where you practice the technique of meditation and cleansing. In fact, meditation is a bomb of positive energy that pervades the whole environment in which you practice. So it is normal if your meditation room becomes much more positive and bright, even if you have never practiced the energy cleaning technique before, because in reality you have always done it only meditating. However, by practicing the cleansing technique, you increase the effect even more and speed up the positive results. The fact is that you don't have to work hard to bring negativity to your room, putting positive energy to the test by thinking, "There, get this, now I'll be sad in my room for a while and see if the positive energy will stop me." Because it is obvious that if you resume negative thinking, both your internal energy and that of the environment you frequent will start to get dirty again. However, if you are consistent with everyday techniques and facts, practicing energy cleansing and committing yourself not to think negatively while you are at home and all day, then the positive effect will be far more visible. Home must become like your place of relaxation. So far you have treated her like a program's warehouse, inserting all your thoughts and as many energies as possible. Without knowing it, you continued for years, coming back home and bringing problems from outside, negative thoughts, venting them inside the house and keeping them in every room. It's right to see one's home as a place where one can be itself and let your emotions come out, but unload all the anger and all your frustrations in the same place where you eat, sleep and live for a long time in your life. It can only bring you other problems followed by suffering. Your home must become a place of well-being, because when you come home tired from work and open the door, energy must welcome you, assault you and regenerate you. You must feel like you have just entered a really positive place for you, not the other way around. At home, you need to feel better and no longer tired than before. You have been accustomed to think that outside the house, when everyone sees you, you must always be perfect, impeccable, the best person in the world. Then when you come home, you give the worst of yourself, convinced that nobody sees you. Outside the house, you must always be smiling. Then inside the house, you are infuriated with everyone, treating bad your family and continuously stabbing yourself. Home must be the place where you feel regenerated, in which you can't wait to go back, not so much to escape from problems, but to resume that physical and mental well-being that will help you to be even stronger than before against your opponents. Even more so, At home, you have to try to be positive, not to let negative thoughts into you and not to let your family in pain because of you. For this, you must be conscious but also clean up the internal energy and that of the environment. The place where you meditate is already cleaned up through meditation, but you can increase its effectiveness with energy cleansing. One might think that a solution to obtain two effects with a single move is to meditate every day in a different spot of the house, and it is not a bad idea. But when you meditate, what must come in the foreground is the success of the meditation itself, and not the cleansing of the house. Cleansing the environment during meditation is a side effect, but when you are meditating, you need to focus primarily on the intent of trying to get that meditative session going well. By wanting to get everything too fast, one gets lost on the road. So, rather than meditating every day in a different spot to cleanse the house and then end up not meditating at all well, concentrate on meditating well, and when you can cleanse up the house, you practice the technique meant for cleansing. This does not mean that from time to time you can choose to change the meditation spot, which is indeed a good idea, but you must remember that when you meditate, you meditate. When you cleanse the energy, you have to clean the energy. Don't mix things up too much, thinking to speed them up, because the idea of rushing things doesn't agree with the spiritual evolution. To cleanse up the energy of the environment you're in, you will initially have to deal with recalling prana. I do not need to tell you that to recall prana you must relax first, concentrating well on the intent to calm your mind and get in contact with positive energy. To help you, I will explain to you step by step the technique to clean up the energy of the room you are in, after which you can expand throughout the house. Your room must be your little place of absolute peace, but do not let the rest of the house to be filled with negativity. So, remember to do a more thorough energy cleansing even from time to time to the rest of the house. Let us therefore practice an energy cleansing session of the environment. This session will last about 10 to 15 minutes, but obviously you could decide to make it last less or longer depending on the occasion and the needs of cleansing. Remember that if the house has so many negative energies, programs of quarrels and sadness, problems of any kind, it is much better to practice more and suffer less than to practice less because of one's own laziness and then spend the days to fight with the family or have personal problems. You can decide to sit or lie down, as this is not a meditation. My advice is to alternate and practice more often while sitting, as you will concentrate better. Start relaxing, breathing prana in you. To clean the energy of a place, first of all, breathe prana into you. Relax and concentrate solely on breathing prana. Feel the whitest prana that enters inside you and cleanse your energy. Now, recall the purest and most positive energy there is, directly from the universe. Recall her, and let her into your house. Focus specifically on the room you are in now, recalling the energy of the universe inside your room. Visualize the pure white energy that enters your room and expands. Feel this bridge that is created between the purest energy and your home, recalling it in large quantities. Breathe prana in, feel positive, in peace, and with this feeling, recall positive energy into your room, so that it too becomes a place of absolute peace. Continue to recall prana into the room, as if a notion of whitest energy were to enter your room. Imagine as if your room exploded with positive energy, radiating light and purity for how much it contains. Breathe and concentrate on recalling so much energy that the room is filled with the whitest light, like snow. Display the pranic energy that expands throughout the room with the intent to purify it. Feel the white, luminous energy that dissolves any negative program and replaces it with beautiful and positive energy. The prana continues to arrive and fill your room in abundance. Feel the sense of fullness. Feel your room filled with positive energy, happiness, and joy. Expand that energy. Feel it penetrate the furniture, objects, and finally, the walls. Feel how the white energy purifies all the surfaces, the furniture, cleaning up every spot of your room. Now expand the energy throughout the house. Recall prana inside the house and expand it in every room, with a strong intent to clean up the energy and dissolve any energy program. It abounds with pranic energy. Relax. For the moment, you can end the cleansing session here. How are you feeling? I'm sure you will have liked to continue a good while longer, and you can repeat the session as often as you like. Right now, we have focused particularly on your room, but it will be important to practice to expand energy throughout the house. Obviously, you can do it even without having to physically go to the other room. However, if you had the chance, provided that no one else disturbs you while you are around the house, you can practice the technique by physically going and sit directly to the place concerned. In both cases will be fine. The technique of energy cleansing can be practiced at any time you desire, before or after meditation, because in both cases it will bring good results. If you decide to practice it before meditation, you will clean the place from negative energies, and it will help you to start a meditative session that is much lighter and more relaxing than usual, since you have lowered the level of negativity and low frequency that is in the room. If you practice energy cleansing after meditating, you will have more energy, so cleaning will have a more and positive effect in the environment you're in. So, in both cases, you will have a very positive effect. Even better if you change the order of the techniques. Even if you were to practice it far from meditative sessions, it will be fine because it is a standalone technique and not necessarily combined with meditation. To increase the effectiveness and duration of energy cleansing, it is very much important that you practice energy protection at least once a day, every day. The protection keeps the energy clean for longer because it keeps negative energy out of your home. Many people make the mistake of protecting only their own room and not the whole house, just the same as cleaning the energy of their own room and not the whole apartment. Protecting your own room only means allowing negative energy to enter your home and disturb your family or hit yourself while you are in one of the other rooms. Even the energy needs to be cleaned throughout the house, because cleaning your room alone may not be enough to prevent you from falling into the other programs that you will take while you are in the other rooms and will transport them back to your room. This is why it is important that the whole house is protected and energetically cleaned, and not just your room. Protect the whole house every day, and when you can, clean up its energy. Make a protective bubble to you, your room, and your home, because this way the negativity will be less and less able to enter, until you can block it outside and find it extremely difficult to enter. To do this, remember to clean up your home even if you always protect it, because negative energy is also created through you, through your negative thinking, or when you come into the house bringing problems from outside. Remember to also cut the wires to increase the duration of the protection. Every time you forget to protect your home, you let the negativity have entry routes, so it will even enter your room even though you thought you had it protected. Every time you practice the energy cleansing technique, try to go deeper and discover new levels. For example, by going into the detail of the house, enhancing the purification of the environment even more internally than the walls, the ceiling, the floor, every room in the home, even the bathroom. Do not believe that negative energies that could damage you cannot be born in the bathroom. How many times have you been afraid of going to the bathroom alone at night? Here is the answer. You were afraid because unconsciously you were perceiving some negative energy or entity in the bathroom, which succeeded at breaking in, thanks to the absence of the protection in that room. By protecting your home better and cleaning up the energy of every room, including the bathroom, the corridor, and spots of the house that you don't spend much time in, your fear of those areas will diminish, because it will diminish in them the access of negativity and negative presences. Increase the intensity of the defense and you will notice a big difference. Let me know below how you found yourself with this technique and how you felt after practicing it. If you have already had results, please share them below, so that your teammates can also understand the effectiveness and importance of putting it into practice.